One stat will decide the series. And you know, one of the Achilles heels of the Warriors is rebounding, and in particular, offensive rebounding. Teams that offensive rebound against the Warriors well, second chance points, kills the Warriors, size. Well, this is offensive rebounds per game in the NBA. So Houston's number one in the league, 14.6 offensive rebounds per game. But the Rockets, 14.6, and that's what kills the Warriors. Second chance points in the league. Rockets, number one, right there. 18.1 second chance points per game, but number one in the league, 18.1. That's what Houston does. That's how they beat you. They get up a lot of extra shots. They're number one in shots per game, field goal attempts per game, number one, because they get second chance point. 1 second chance points per game. That's the series. Second chance points allowed. Boom. Look at the Warriors. Number 3 in the league. 12.8 second chance points allowed per game. So that's the problem for the Warriors. Total rebounds per game. Rockets number 1. They lead in overall rebounds. They lead in second chance points. They lead in offensive rebounds, and the Warriors are one of the worst teams in the league in second chance points allowed. That's a problem. The Warriors have had all sorts of trouble with size. This is the key, guys, 𝐮𝐬𝐿, because that's going to be, Looney's going to be in the game a lot, I think, to defend him. He'll probably get in a little bit of foul trouble. Can Quentin Post defend him? Not so much. And that's, I'm nervous about Post being in the game, because on the one end, if he's hitting threes, he can stretch the floor. Do you need to stretch big? I think in the offseason, 𝐿𝐿𝐾𝐭, when he's traded, not if he's traded, when 𝐿𝐿𝐾𝐭 is traded, I think they're going to try to get a stretch that can play some defense and rebound as well, because I like Post and everything, but he is clearly an offensive player at this point of his career. He's not a great rebounder. He's not a great defender, which means you're going to have Looney in there, but Looney doesn't give you the stretch value. And if you have Looney in there, he's not a shooter. So who can you put around him? Because Jimmy's not a shooter, and Draymond's not a great shooter, even though his three-point is improved. But if you're putting on the floor Butler and Looney and Green, then on the offensive end, let's say you have 𝐵𝐵𝐺𝐻𝐿 and Steph, that allows Houston to go hard after Steph, because there's three kind of non-shooters. If Draymond, I've said this again and again and again, if Draymond's on the floor and he's going to hit threes and I'm going to get beat that way, that's fine. But Looney's not going to shoot him. What, he shoot 2 this year, and everyone celebrated that he hit a couple, but he's not going to shoot him, generally speaking. And Jimmy Butler, even though the other day he's like, I can shoot it. Well, they're going to give you that shot, Jimmy. And Jimmy's not going to shoot it a lot from out there. He's going to catch it out there maybe and drive to the rim like he did in the play-in game, and he played phenomenal, and that was a great strategy. But right there, that's the guy, 𝐮𝐬𝐿, because offensive rebounding-wise, he can do it, and you look at the number, my thing's out of the way there, but he's averaging about 3.5 offensive rebounds a game. He is their number 1 offensive rebounder. And then Amen Thompson, you look down there, he averages 3 offensive rebounds a game. So he's coming from the backcourt, grabbing rebounds, getting extra chances. But 𝐮𝐬𝐿 is the guy, because number 1, he's hard to defend, and number 2, he's going to go after the offensive glass. So that's your guy. It's the whole reason that they're where they are. Not the whole reason, but it's one of the main reasons they are where they are. In fact, I think it's number 1. They're the number 1 rebounding team. They're the number 1 offensive rebounding team. They're the number 1 team in second chance points. And the Warriors are one of the worst teams in the league at allowing second chance points. So Steve Kerr, right now, as we speak, they are working on offensive rebounds. They're either talking about it, working on drills about it, whatever the case may be. Draymond Green, your defensive player of the year. You know what that means? You know what finishing a defensive possession is? Getting the rebound. That's why Looney, I think, is going to be a major part in this series that nobody's talking about. Because Looney's a guy that in the playoffs before, he's gotten 16, 18, 20 rebounds. And if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm saying, look, we're giving up one thing on the offensive end. We're giving up floor spacing and the ability to get a Quentin Post onto the floor so that we can rebound the basketball. And that's what it comes down to. So I think Looney, it's series to series, right? I tell you this all the time. Matchups. The number 1 stat is offensive rebounding. Who's the best Warriors rebounder? It's Looney. So Looney's going to play a lot in this series. That's just going to be. Now, they'll see if they can do it without him, but I think I have just a sneaking suspicion based on the numbers, not so sneaking, a fact that Looney's going to play a lot in this series. So it's going to be Looney and Green and Butler and Curry and 𝐵𝐺𝐻𝐿. That's going to be, now, who's starting, I don't know. Same with Trayce Jackson-Davis. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Trayce Jackson-Davis was up a peg in this series, even over Quentin Post, just because he can defend and he can rebound. And they need that badly in this series. They're going to need size. They're going to need to rebound. Series to series, you might not see Trayce Jackson-Davis the whole rest of the playoffs. But if he may be used in the series, and I think Looney's going to be used a lot in this series, much more than he was in the regular season. So we'll see. But that's just my prediction. That's a huge stat in this series, offensive rebounding. And if the Warriors can limit second chance points and second chance opportunities for Houston. That to me is the series.